Welcome to Chris 6 News at 5. Here's what's making headlines in your neighborhood. We have an update on our investigation into the Corpus Christi Housing Authority's Workforce Housing Initiative. We're digging into what this means for neighbors. Plus,
let's face it, these days there's so many headlines and hot takes that you can find right here at the palm of your hand.
Israel-Iran war. Several countries across World War III.
I'm Michaela Chavez on the South Side, showing you how constant exposure to serious matters could impact your kids.
Your Chris 6 News at 5 starts right now. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. We begin with continuing coverage of the conflicts overseas. Israel is accusing Iran of what it calls a serious breach of President Trump's ceasefire. Iran is firmly denying the allegation. The accusation comes shortly after both countries agreed to the truce following nearly 2 weeks of intense conflict. Footage shows the moment a missile hit the southern Israel city of Beersheba. Today, in response, the Israeli military has vowed to respond with force. Israel's defense minister says that he has ordered the military to strike Tehran in response to what he said were Iranian missiles fired in violation of the ceasefire.
They say news never stops.
Israel-Iran war update. Several countries across the World War III started tomorrow.
Especially when we can get it right at our fingertips. I'm Michaela Chavez, your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter on the South Side, showing you how all of this is impacting kids right here at home.
TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat.
Everywhere.
I was just scrolling on TikTok and then there was this person talking about the nuke and everything.
All at once.
They are so stressed out about what they're seeing, all the bombardment of information.
That's how some kids are feeling about what's going on in the world right now.
Moved into this region.
I feel nervous mainly because I don't know what is going to happen.
Some may not know too much.
I have a tablet, but it has parent control, so I can't get many apps, and when I do get apps, it's my mom has to put in a password.
Others may know more than plenty.
First, I thought it was fake, and two, I realized that it was all over the news too, so I'm like, oh wait, this is not fake, this is actually serious.
All of it, bringing up a deeper conversation. When should kids be exposed to this type of content? Well, I asked around, and a few parents shared their opinions with me.
My kids are probably a little too young to even have that conversation, so we probably won't even be, talking to them about what's going on right now.
The most common response I got was that there's no one age fits all in this situation. Every kid is different. So, what should you do if your kid wants to talk about it? 12-year-old Jack had a suggestion.
To kind of talk to you guys about this instead of just seeing it on social media?
Probably the counselor.
Why do you think that?
Because they help you with your feelings.
And what type of feelings?
So to keep you not stressed or nervous or scared.
While some parents might be able to tackle the broader conversation on their own, others might need some extra support.
Professional counselors can help people build skills on how to manage their anxiety better. So give them other ways to cope rather than being hyper-focused or obsessing over an area that's negative.
Bill Helcher is the CEO of the Coastal Bend Wellness Foundation. He says once you're able to sort out what's true and what's not true, that's a good time for parents to step in and talk.
Help explain it, alleviate some of those concerns, and talk about what's really going on, and then get them back to what's important, being a kid.
If your kid is feeling overwhelmed by it all, help is available. The Coastal Bend Wellness Foundation offers mental health services, and I'll have that information for you on our website, christv.com. On the South Side, I'm your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter, Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 News.
Michaela, thank you. And just days ago, Governor Greg Abbott signed SB 10 legislation requiring the 10 Commandments be displayed in all public school classrooms. The new Texas law requires all public school districts to post the 10 Commandments in classrooms starting September 1st. But Neighborhood News reporter Tony Jaramillo spoke to Rice University political science professor Mark Jones, who expects immediate legal challenges to block the law, similar to what's happening in Louisiana, where a comparable law has been tied up in court.
I would be very surprised to see the 10 Commandments legally on the walls in any Texas classroom during the 2025 to 2026 school year.
Locally, Flower Bluff ISD says it's aware of the new law and will work with the Texas Education Agency and legal counsel to ensure compliance. The district is awaiting further implementation guidance from state authorities. Jones says even if Texas ultimately wins in court, don't expect to see the 10 Commandments in classrooms during the upcoming school year. And today marks 3 years since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the nation's abortion law. The law was reversed June 24, 2022. Tuesday's staged hearing with Senate Democrats allows for a public forum to be held without conducting an official Senate hearing, which would have required approval from Republican leaders. Now, the shadow hearing allows Senate Democrats to bring abortion and reproductive health care back to the forefront. On the campaign trail, President Trump said he would veto a federal abortion ban and leave abortion laws up to the states. Now to a 6 Investigate story. We have been digging into the Corpus Christi Housing Authority's tax-exempt deals that could have removed $350 million from local tax rolls annually. City Council passed a motion Tuesday stating those deals are, quote, apparently illegal. City leaders and neighbors expressed frustrations against the Housing Authority's actions. The Housing Authority will discuss these properties at Friday Board of Commissioners meeting, and Chris 6 News will be there to bring you the very latest. And over in the London area, the Corpus Christi City Council gave final approval to an ordinance that will make some streets in London narrower, but there was a last-minute modification. The original proposal would have changed 4 roads in the area of County Road 22 and County Road 43 from 4 lanes to 2 lanes. 2 developers who asked for the change say the narrow roads will give them more building space, but London ISD raised concerns, saying that change could have a negative impact on their plans to create more campuses in that district. The request of the Public Works and Streets Department, one street was changed back to a 4-lane, and that was unanimously approved. And the City Council is getting more details about a proposed tax increment reinvestment zone, also known as TERS, for the London area. The city's Office of Economic Development is proposing the creation of TERS 7 to promote growth and housing options in that part of the city. The creation of TERS would fund development of about 4,600 acres and would create new tax value of between $2 to $3 billion, and the Office of Economic Development proposes holding a public hearing and a first reading of the TERS ordinance on July 15th. A final vote could be taken on July 22nd. And we're off to a sizzling summer, but will there be any rain to relieve us of this South Texas heat? Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber joins us in the studio. And Stephanie, do we have a break anytime soon?
You know, I think one day this week might actually end up being dry, but you know, it's been dry in a few neighborhoods, wet in others. One of our Coastal Bend weather watchers shared this photo of rain coming down in Beeville. I've been right in this area. Shared 2 photos. This is one of the clearer ones, but a lot of those, what I like to call SLC, scary looking clouds out there as we get going on this Tuesday, and more rain opportunities as we head through the next couple of days. In fact, we're still seeing some of that rain in Bee County right now. A lot of these spotty showers continuing to move along that 181 corridor, but another batch of rain moving into the Beeville area right now. So get ready for that. And these are some pretty quick downpours, but they are downpours, dropping a good batch of rain with them. We're not seeing anything around Corpus Christi right now, and things are fairly dry in our southern zones, but it may not stay that way for long. We still have rain down in Brooks County, just south of Falfurrias. If it continues on a path, neighborhoods like Hebbronville and Benavides may be seeing some rain here before long. I'll tell you what to expect coming up in the full forecast ahead.
Taking flight in more ways than one. I'm Melissa Trevino, taking a look at the Alice International Airport and how it helps locals and visitors alike. I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Alice. When you see an airport, you usually think of business trips or a vacation. But here at the International Airport, it's used in several ways.
I've flown out of here Probably 4 or 5 times.
Zeke Luna is a lifelong resident of Alice. He tells me in his younger years, he flew out of the airport on his friend's private jet for short trips. But it's not just private planes that land here.
About 65% of our traffic here is the Navy doing practice flights between here and the Orange Grove landing field.
City manager Michael Esparza tells me the airport is owned by the city and the county. He says it helps them in a number of ways.
So we'll get some large planes come in, large private jets, and it happens quite often, especially during hunting season. A lot of those come in, and you can see them parked here on the ramp.
Those who fly in to hunt also bring business to shops like Horseshoe Western Store downtown. Workers like Inez Almaraz tell me they always see visitors stop by.
And we do get them coming in, actually. Now that you're talking about that, I do have them, hunters coming in and people from everywhere that come in to shop.
The city also leases land for planes and sells fuel from the airport.
Everybody benefits when, there is something like that.
Timothy Vieira lives in Benavides, but travels to Alice a lot for work. He sees how big of a staple the airport is in this community.
We want revenue for the city. We want revenue for, it's for businesses around everywhere. If it's something that can help businesses around, we love it.
The Alice International Airport is located here at 1300 Airport Road, near County Road 344. Reporting from the Alice International Airport, I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter, Chris 6 News.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm, battling for justice, winning for the community.
Many neighbors have been asking when Sherrill Veterans Memorial Park is opening up again after it was closed off earlier this year for its remodel. Our last report said it's expected to reopen this summer with the first phase completed by June 2025. But Chris 6 got a bird's eye view and it looked like there's still a lot of work to be done. Now, Chris 6 spoke with the city's Park and Rec Director, Robert Dodd, for an update on where things stand. You can catch our full report, including the new timeline and what's still to come tonight at 6 on this week's Veterans in Focus.
All right, gonna look at the roadways now for your making your way home. Lots of busy bees already up and at 'em on SPID, but this view looks like an easy ride so far. We'll take you to those roadways now and show you where the trouble spots are with this wide view. So here we go, looking at the major roadways. Saratoga going to be one of those busy spots as you see down here. So we'll start out before we get there with some of the activity around downtown. 37 on that crosstown interchange is pretty slow right now, so you may want to pack the patience, maybe take the road through downtown to get around a little faster and avoid that traffic. We are pretty slow across Saratoga, especially from Staples to Airline, and Staples from SPID down to Saratoga. Definitely a bit messy. Rodfield not as bad. So as you head out this afternoon, make sure you stay safe and you drive safe. Hey there, good afternoon. A beautiful view around the Coastal Bend. We're looking pretty good out there if you ask me. In fact, while traffic is moving smoothly, that of course is always nice to see. We are talking about some pretty interesting cloud features. I want to see if we can show you a closer image of what's going on in the Whataburger Field camera. We like to call it the Whata Sky Cam because let's face it, it's one of our best views around the Coastal Bend. So if you look in the lower left, there we go, big view of the Whata Sky Cam. You see a variety of clouds here. We've got some tall clouds, that helps our rain chances, and we also have some that kind of fizzle out, that might look a little fuzzy here on your screen. Especially that top one there that's kind of shaped like a jellyfish. That's how I call them. That's dry air. So where we have some of those taller clouds like what we're seeing here in the CCAC camera out at Snoopy's, we don't see any of those taller ones out here, and that makes sense because there's less rain out this way. But let me show you the radar right now, and we'll talk about some of the rain that's in the area. We have a stream of these spotty little showers moving across Copano Bay, Rockport Fulton getting a quick shower to the north. And really, this carries on over into B County. Some of those spotty little showers, it's where those tall clouds had a chance to move through drier air and dump rain in a few neighborhoods, one of which being around Beeville. So across B County, these spotty showers have been dumping some good downpours. That's what these darker shades of green tell us approaching Pettis there and Normanna. But we are going to see this spotty fashion of showers become more numerous as we head on into tomorrow and eventually Thursday, probably our best chance of actually seeing rainfall across many neighborhoods. We're also watching a good swath of rainfall, much more impressive colors to the bottom of your screen there with the radar, the yellows, oranges, reds. That's heavier rainfall moving across Brooks County right now. now. Encino just seeing some good rainfall, and if that holds on, which I think it will at this point, that could mean another round of rain for Hebbronville, Benavides, Realitos, and maybe Freer if this holds on for the next hour or so. But it's good to have these small but potent downpours because we still have dry air aloft. We're waiting for the heat wave across the East Coast to break down so we can have less stifling our rain chances, because these little bits do help a lot. We've had some showers move over Lake Corpus Christi and Choke Canyon, so it all adds up if we continue to see these patterns. And good news, I think the 7-day forecast has just that in store. Right now in your neighborhood, we are feeling hot, temperatures near 90 degrees and a good deal of sunshine where we aren't seeing the rain. But where we have rain, it's making the feels like temperature a little more bearable. Still feeling like 100 degrees across most of the coastal bend. Once again, keeping an eye on our dew point temperatures. Those are in the lower 70s today, so not quite as bad because we're putting some of that humidity to use. However, tomorrow we could see another batch of that patchy fog, especially for the inland neighborhoods, because our weather pattern hasn't changed too much. Humidity has a strong hold on the forecast, and as we look at the big weather picture, there really isn't anything else that we are waiting to change in this forecast except for the high pressure along the East Coast to break down and move out. So rain chances heading into tomorrow, still not obviously impressive, but a better chance for those isolated to widely scattered showers and storms to move across your neighborhood. And we have these daily rain chances in the mix pretty much every day out of the next 7 except for Friday. In fact, we're looking at better rain chances as we head into the beginning of next week. Speaking of which, here's a look at the next 7 days.
I'm Ana Conejo, your neighborhood news reporter near downtown Corpus Christi, showing you how residents of the Rustic House Men's Shelter finally have a place to unwind, all thanks to a local law firm and community efforts. At Corpus Christi Metro Ministries, the smiles say it all.
What they have done is restore dignity to our most vulnerable neighbors, which is our task every single day.
Patty Clark is the CEO of the Rustic House, a men's shelter within the ministries, offering them stability to try to rebuild their lives.
It's always important for people, wherever they live, to have a space that is outdoors.
Now, after weeks of hard work and dedication from some neighbors down the street, these men now have a place to relax and unwind.
It was inaccessible to some people who come here for help, and we cleared out brush, we painted tables, serving meals, cooking food. We had our entire law firm out here.
Alex Hilliard with the Hilliard Law Firm was one of the several people to help give the men at the Rustic House a space specifically dedicated to them.
We didn't have that just based on space, and this area at the back of our parking lot had become overgrown. It was hard to tend.
But now they do, thanks to Hilliard Law Firm, who brought this vision to life.
We're here to serve this city and give back just the way this city has given to us in each of our own individual ways.
Hilliard says he hopes this serves as a safe space and shows the community the importance of giving back. Patty Clark says this is just the beginning of creating more spaces for those in need. Reporting near downtown Corpus Christi, I'm Ana Conejo, Chris 6 News.
Ana, thank you, and stay with us. We'll take a look at this live look out Snoopy's Camp. Your Chris 6 News at 5 continues, and we have one final check of the Weather Plus, an event that engages students in your neighborhood.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Well, welcome back. Texas A&M University held its first ever Islander Summer Camp, nursing camp for junior and senior high school students. Check it out.
Or like the patient might start coughing. If you don't know the patient might start coughing.
Well, the week-long camp provides an opportunity for students to get hands-on learning and explore the world of healthcare through interactive activities. The camp also gets students used to the real-world situations. As you can see right there, nursing professor Catherine Seller hopes that students will be encouraged to major in nursing at Texas A&M because of their experience here. That's kind of cool. You get to kind of experience. It's a dummy, but still, I'm sure that those dummies, you know, will be able to
hands-on experience. You may not even have any idea of what it's like, what nursing is like at all, because
Exactly.
it's a tough job.
Yes, it is.
I think that's really neat. I would love stuff like that, but maybe that's just the nerd in me. Speaking of which, we have some nerdy topics to talk about. We have a lot of really cool Weather Watcher videos, so stick around for Chris 6 News at 6. I'll share some more with you, but right now we're still tracking showers up in B County and northern parts of Refugio County too. Not quite in town, but just to the north. Plus, this big batch of rain in our southern zones, Brooks County. I'll be keeping an eye on it as we head on into the evening, so more to come.
Alrighty, we will see more with Stephanie tonight at 6 o'clock. Have a great one.